Name.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Invest Mentor in association with Network 18.
Hello and welcome to Invest Mentor, presented to you by Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund in association with Network 18. It is an investor education and awareness initiative by Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund, and I'm Sonia Shenoy. Now on today's show, we discuss about liquid funds. How do liquid funds work, and can liquid funds be a good replacement to your savings account? To discuss this and more, we have two industry stalwarts who join in on the show. Manish Mehta, who is the Joint President and National Head Sales, Digital Business and Marketing at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management, and Lakshmi Iyer, the President and Chief Investment Officer, Debt and Head of Products at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management, join in. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us on Invest Mentor. Manish, I want to start with you. Just to go to the basics, what are liquid funds, and are liquid funds an alternative to just storing money in your savings account?
Yeah, thanks, Shenoy, and lovely to be here on the show as always. And just to begin with, liquid funds are nothing but they're like money market instruments. It's a portfolio which primarily invests in very liquid, very highly rated, AAA rated kind of instruments like certificates of deposits, commercial papers, short-term bonds, treasury bills. The nature of the liquid fund primarily is more importantly, as the word says, liquidity. One can look at investing in a product like this for as less as 1 day also, and can effectively be used by an investor for cash management purposes also, and for emergency funds purposes also.
Okay, so there are plenty of advantages, right, of liquid funds, as you said. Lakshmi, come in on this. Are there any other benefits? What could the exit load be if I'm, say, putting my money in a liquid fund? And since you manage the debt market so closely, is there a lower interest rate risk that I'm looking at if I invest in a liquid fund?
Sure. Hi, Sonia. So yes, there are a plethora of advantages which really are associated when you're investing with liquid funds, and then Manish rightly alluded to quite a few things. The other thing which is very important to keep in mind is that what is the end objective of the money that you are parking or you are investing in the liquid fund? So is it like for eternity? Then probably liquid may not be the best category. But are you keeping it for exigency purposes? Are you keeping it for a temporary parking, and then you want to utilize it for investment into any other asset class? Or you have an asset allocation within which this comes the very short-term bucket of 10, 15 days, 30 days sort of a thing. There is an exit load in a liquid fund at the industry level. It's for 7 days. So under 7 days, there are other category funds like overnight funds, which investors do have a pension for. So it is usually expected that the investor, of course, there's nothing stopping him or her from investing under 7 days. But of course, there's an incidence of load within that. But aside of that, I think it comes bundled up with reasonably good, as I said, the mandatory or the regulatory limit for investment in a liquid category is capped at 3 months. So come what may, as a money manager, I cannot invest in any single asset which is beyond 3 months. So that substantively reduces the interest rate risk also, and therefore the associated volatility when you make investments in an interest rate scenario. In very low interest rate scenario, can liquid funds do the job? Probably they may not be the most optimal category of fixed income funds. But yes, if it has to marry your investment tenor objective, then liquid has to be the mainstay.
Okay, that's very helpful, Lakshmi. So you're saying that liquid funds are suitable for those who are seeking to invest some surplus amount of cash that they have for a short-term period. So they don't know where to park their funds. You can park it in liquid funds. And you also spoke about how the interest rate risk is lower. So Manish, coming to you, you can just explain to us what are the returns that one can enjoy?
Sure. So, as Lakshmi also mentioned, primarily in terms of, emergency corpuses, there are, one can look at, parking in case if someone has a short-term requirement of funds, maybe 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, looking to buy an asset or something like that. That money can definitely look at, coming into something like a liquid fund. So that's why I think liquid funds has many more other features besides the returns also. More importantly, emergency parking, liquidity as as early as 24 hours, means you can park for one day.
Okay, that was very helpful, Manish, but I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here, right? Lakshmi, come in on this. Why should I put my money in a liquid fund? There is taxation involved. There is an expense ratio, right? I mean, you have to pay an expense ratio of a fee of about 2.2% for someone to manage that liquid fund. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but you can clarify all these doubts.
So, Sonia, the entire mutual fund industry is a little under 37 odd lakh crores, of which the liquid category, the fixed income category is a little under 15 lakh crores. And the liquid category within that is about 3,70,000 crores. And if you look at the total folios, it's a little under 20 lakhs. So if you look at the entire fixed income arena, the highest AUM or the corpus is enjoyed by the liquid category. And of course, the highest folio within the fixed income category is enjoyed by liquid. So that gives you a color where for every devil there is a god which is believing in the liquid category and actually making investments. Well, that's on the lighter side, but on a more serious note, see, liquid funds, or for that matter, any fixed income, since we're discussing liquid funds, the returns are market linked or they're market determined. So, for example, if there is an expectation that interest rates are going to rise, the underlying asset prices also start reflecting that yield. Today, for example, a 3-month high-grade asset would be dealing anywhere between, say, 3.8 to 4.1%. And if it's a non-manufacturing asset, it would be slightly higher. That benefit of repricing is directly available to the underlying unit holder of the liquid fund. What happens in traditional mode of investments, it takes time for every, a fixed deposit or a savings account, which are traditional mode of investments. These are liabilities for a bank. So it takes time for a liability to reprice, whereas the market prices tend to adjust itself more real time. So I think that is the biggest trump card which the investors should explore when they are contemplating why they should invest in a category called liquid fund. And of course, the whole host of reasons ranging from short term to liquidity, all of that. Expense ratio regulatorily for every fixed income, or there is a formula based expense ratio charging, but look at the plethora of fixed income offerings including liquid funds in the industry. Do they really charge that kind of high expense ratio? The answer is no, because the underlying asset class has a particular yield range. So if you scan across the industry, most liquid funds, and again historically also the same thing is true, are charging anywhere between 10 to 20 basis points, which is not exorbitant when you are actually contemplating an investment. So I think given all that bundled up together, is there a merit to look at a category for liquid for all of these reasons, including your milestone planning? The answer is yes.
Okay, well, that was a very, very strong argument in favor of liquid funds, I must say. But let's do one thing. I have so many more questions to ask both of you on liquid funds. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break and come back with lots more on Investmenter. Do stay tuned in.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Investmenter in association with Network 18. Kotak Mutual Fund presents Investmenter in association with Network 18.
Welcome back. You're watching Investmenter, presented to you by Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund in association with Network 18. This is an investor education and awareness initiative by Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund. Today we're joined by two industry experts. We've been speaking to Lakshmi Iyer as well as Manish Mehta of Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company to talk about the pros and cons of investing in liquid funds. So before the break, Manish and Lakshmi were telling us about how liquid funds are a place to put your money if you have a short-term horizon and you just want to park some surplus cash, and there are many other benefits as well. So let's plan this step by step, right? Manish, if one wants to invest in a liquid fund, what is the best way to do it? If I have some surplus corpus lying, should I put it all in one go, in one chunk, or should I do it, sort of in an STP, SIP format? If you can just explain to our viewers.
Sure. So investing in a liquid fund is just like investing in any other mutual fund scheme that one intends to invest in. And the purpose of liquid funds is primarily to see to it that, to park all the surplus monies that you have. So probably doing an SIP or an STP may not be the right prudent approach for a liquid fund. I think one can probably look at just taking all your additional surpluses and putting it into a liquid fund at one go itself. Just one more aspect is that if you look at it, one of the usage of liquid funds which many people in the industry could also do is use that to even invest in equities also. So many a times, when we do shows, or many people look at the concept of STP or systematic transfer plans when one is looking at investing into equity schemes. Now at that point of time, if that corpus of liquid money is used for the purpose of investing in equities eventually through an STP, then definitely that money has to go lump sum at one shot, and then you could grade it over STPs of various tenure to get yourself invested as far as equity mutual funds are concerned.
Lakshmi, let's talk about financial goals, right? So if your goal is to have a emergency fund, then you're saying that liquid funds are the place to park your money. But if you have a long-term goal in mind, say, you want to create wealth, but this is a time when the market is undergoing a correction. People invest their money in liquid funds right now for the time being, and then perhaps take a call 3 months later. Is that a good way to look at it while approaching your financial goals?
Well, emergency fund, by the very name says it is for contingency, exigency, etc. That money cannot be really put to risk. So risk asset class, or for that matter, even long tenor fixed income funds may not really cut the bill. Therefore, liquid funds are the chosen way out. But yes, if you are using it as a temporary parking scenario, as you rightly observed, wherein you want to stagger it over, say, the next 3 months, and you want to enter into an asset class, in this case, equities, or you're planning, say, your next house purchase, which is probably a quarter away, or any of these associated milestone-linked investment planning, I think all of that can get pretty perched into the liquid category funds. And for reasons, as I already mentioned, it is actually the Zor Ka Jhatka Dheere Se category. It will be vulnerable to interest rate movements, no doubt. But given the intensity, given the duration being so low, it is actually the Zor Ka Jhatka Dheere Se. So it does, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Okay.
And on the taxation angle, put together, once, the funds are taxed, Lakshmi, do we beat inflation? If you sort of put your money in liquid funds for a 3 to 6 month period.
See, Sonia, it's very challenging in any economy, including India today, to beat inflation by being in fixed income. I think the dope for that has to be equities. There's no doubt in my mind. But on a post-tax basis, assuming you are at the highest tax slab, today liquid funds, market-linked return, the repo rate is at 4%, and overnight rates are gradually aligning to the 4% region. Long-term capital gains tax start kicking in after 3 years for fixed income. So under 3 years, you will be taxed as per your tax slab. And that would mean a knockoff of at least 1.5% depending on which tax slab you are. And you will see from the numbers, it's not an inflation beating tool for sure, because the objective of parking those monies in the liquid category fund are visibly different.
Let's talk about the lock-in now. Manish, we've discussed it that there's no real lock-in for liquid funds. But explain to us, what is the exact exit load that I would have to bear if I want to redeem my funds immediately from a liquid fund? And the schemes are available in different variants, right? There's daily, weekly, monthly dividend, there's a growth option. So, just explain what is the difference between these and what kind of lock-in, exit load are we looking at?
So, in fact, in liquid funds, as Lakshmi had mentioned, that, there is an exit load up to 7 days, and it's a sort of a graded load structure. Anybody looking at an tenure of, less than 7 days, depending upon, in case if someone redeems on the 7th day, the exit load structure is a little graded. 4th day, it would be a tad higher. The dividend options, just like any mutual fund schemes, mutual funds do provide investors with the option of, taking whatever the marginal return that is generated, either in the form of dividends or in the form of growth option. The various variants and within the dividend option that are mentioned, like weekly or monthly, it just depends upon. So there is a weekly frequency of dividend that one can get for that incremental return that gets generated on the NAV. or the monthly. But we, in general, when someone looks at a 3-6 months kind of a time horizon for an emergency parking of funds, typically most people tend to like sort of just park it in the form of growth options and take it as just one-time gain on the NAV.
Okay, I got that. So that is about the lock-in. No real lock-in period coming through for liquid funds, and it is a way to preserve your capital. Anything else, Lakshmi, that you want to mention that could be perhaps, the pros or even cons of investing in a liquid fund? What kind of an investor should put their money in liquid funds? And, what are the different options? I mean, I was just talking about the daily, monthly, growth option, etc. If you just want to get into the fine print of that.
Yeah, so we've discussed quite a bit of pros as to why this category does make a lot of fit in your portfolio. But as I said, one con or the one disadvantage of investing, it's not a linear movement. So it's not that every day you invest like you have a savings account or you have a fixed deposit where your income accrues to you every day on a straight line basis. That's not going to happen. You are going to see upward and downward movement in this NAV in a tight range, of course, because these investments are 90 days and below. But that movement and vulnerability will remain. So investors need to be mindful of the fact, as we call it in technical terms, mark to market of the portfolio. That is going to be there, but that's a small, I would say, disadvantage or a con. I don't even call it a disadvantage. That's a small mindful factor that you need to keep. The pros clearly far outweigh the cons. And also in terms of facilities, there are some of them who offer you, insta redemption, etc., where, you have up to a threshold of 50,000 odd, you get the money directly into your bank account. So those are facilities which are available. And as I said, agnostic of the load for one moment, these are investments where you can make it today and technically or theoretically get out the next day and the funds, lie in your or get credited to your bank account. So I think it comes with a whole host of advantages. The only thing is that it does not have a magnetic pull because liquid funds or in general fixed income funds can't really assure returns. That's the only downside because these returns are market linked, which is why it tends to be obviously the Cinderella when it comes to the overall investments of monies or these short-term monies which get parked, and the magnetic pull being lacking, it is where it is. So I think it is gradual awareness and more imbibing and accepting the fact once people actually invest in this category, investors actually understand the category and its merits, you actually can see this lineage growing.
All right, Manish and Lakshmi, it was a pleasure speaking to you, and you've clarified all our doubts and queries with regards to liquid funds. So just to summarize, liquid funds are a place to park your money in case you don't know what to do with it for a short term. So, for a 3-month or a 6-month period. But more importantly, A, there is no lock-in period for liquid funds. You can redeem your money anytime. And B, it helps you preserve your capital. So that is the main aim of investing in liquid funds. Thanks so much for watching Invest Mentor, presented to you by Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund. Until we meet again, stay safe.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Invest Mentor in association with Network 18.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.